Second half of the Friday Night Blitz kicks off in the Fox Den. Dutch Fork honoring former student athletes and administrators as part of their Athletics Hall of Fame. Among those inducted, Buffalo Bills place kicker Tyler Bass, who is represented by his wife, parents, and grandmother. He's on IR, but he is part of the Buffalo Bills team getting ready for week 1. On to the action. Fox is hosting Ridgeview, all tied up at 7. Ridgeview's Christian Jackson returns the opening second half kickoff to the house. As he turns the corner, and he is headed your way. 14-7, Ridgeview. But Dutch Fork responds quickly as Jackson Knotts, quarterback for Dutch Fork, and he will heave one to Braden Johnson. He wins a foot race to the end zone, and that ties the game at 14-all. Ridgeview's offense was striking quickly. Quarterback Ashton Chapman filling in for the injured Trey Howard, who was done for the year, broken foot last week. And Chapman will find Coleman Carter. And he will go into the end zone backwards. It counts, style points, maybe. But Dutch Fork wins this one 28-21, so the Silver Foxes pull it out. Let's head to the bank. White Knoll hosting the Bearcats of Brookland-Cayce. Timberwolves on the attack. And it would be Tion Fanning, outstanding running back, powers his way in for the score. It's 7-0. Timberwolves with the early advantage. More from White Knoll. It is Jordan Keith. He's in for 6. And White Knoll off and running at that point against the Bearcats, who are under a rebuilding stage under new head coach Lewis Clyburn. Again, White Knoll keeping up the pressure. As Jace McKeever, the quarterback, and Jace scores. And White Knoll defeats Brookland-Cayce by a final of 49-13. Former Gamecock quarterback Jake Bentley back in the Midlands. He's in his first year as a head coach at Nation 4. He took his team into the swamp to face River Bluff. Second half, opening kickoff. Asher Beck takes it. Avoids a few tacklers. And he's got some room, but he is stopped around the 22, 25-yard line. Later, the Falcons will score. Patience Andrews gets the short touchdown run. Gators trying to make something happen in the red zone. Braden Moore picked off by Nigel Johnson, and Jake Bentley comes to Columbia. And he leaves, gets back up I-77 with a 20-17 win over the Gators of River Bluff. So Nation 4 with the win. Let's head to Lexington. The newest members of the Athletics Hall of Fame being inducted. And they were being recognized at halftime. Jay McCown, Russell Spires, Mickey Howell Parrott, Keith Porterfield, and Mary Catherine Waters. So congrats to them. Lexington on defense as Midland Valley is driving. They're up 14-3, Midland Valley is, but Caleb Schroet with the stop. So the visiting Mustangs, they're going to set up for a field goal, but the snap is low. And Lexington blows it up. Brennan Carter leading the charge. Lexington came back and was leading, but Midland Valley rallies late, and they win it by a final of 21-17 over the Wildcats. Let's head to Chapin. The Eagles hosting Spring Valley in the second quarter. We are scoreless. Spring Valley's Lyden Ingram breaks through. As he gets the call and runs over a defender on his way to a 50-yard pickup deep inside Eagle territory. They had the jersey, finally get him down. Same drive, the Eagle students making themselves heard as the Viking kicker comes up short, still scoreless going into the half. Vikings would win, however, 7-6. That lone touchdown was on running back the opening second half kickoff. Special teams continues to be very important. Spring Valley pulls out the 7-6 win. Irmo hosting Butler from Georgia. Butler High from Georgia, first home game for the Yellow Jackets. Jaden Bryant. The Jaden Bryant show early. This was ruled a catch and fumble, recovered by Bryant, who breaks the tackles. On his way to a touchdown. Later was Bryant, who records a sack. And Irmo wins this one by a final of 42-14. So the Yellow Jackets get it done in their first home game of the year. And let's head down to the low country. Hammond and Porter Gaud, rematch of last year's Skeezo State Championship. Handoff to Jackson Sheely, rolls over top of a Skyhawk defender, never goes down. He gets back up and scores. Shades of Michael Dyer from Auburn back in 2010. This was a tight game. Hammond pulls it out though by a final of 14-7. So Skyhawks continue to roll. And more sports coming up right after this here on the Friday Night Blitz.